Hello, I'm Clark, and today I'll be presenting my narrative speech. A story I wrote called Omega Burger is Hiring. It is the first day of summer vacation. Crash! Mr. Fletcher, the physics teacher at the local high school, got into a massive collision with Jeremiah. He's a 17-year-old albino vegetarian high schooler with bad eyes, who causes most of Mr. Fletcher's stress. Jeremiah is still learning how to drive, but he should have known all the possible angles of escape. Dazed and confused, Jeremiah stumbles out of his car. In the meantime, Mr. Fletcher became furious and jumped out of his car and ready to attack Jeremiah. Without a scratch, they also inspect the carnage.
"Were you even paying the slightest bit of attention?"
Mr. Fletcher screamed. Jeremiah could not believe what had just happened. And he began, "Hey, I'm sorry, Mr. Fletcher." But Mr. Fletcher could not hear him in his blind rage. In the distance, multiple signs were blaring. Mr. Fletcher aggressively grabs Jeremiah, and they tussle to the ground.
"Just where do you think you're going?"
Mr. Fletcher wailed. Then he violently clutched Jeremiah and pinned him to the ground. The cops arrive on the scene to an astronomical car wreck, along with an adult man flattening a vulnerable teenager. Immediately, they scuffle and handcuff Mr. Fletcher. This infuriates him even more, and Jeremiah was so confused and defeated. The only thing worse for Jeremiah right now is if he was in handcuffs too. The cars were broken piles of metal, and Jeremiah knew it was all his fault. What a way to start your summer vacation, he thought. Jeremiah needs a job now, and fast. How is he going to pay for all of this? After shaking off the accident dust, he phoned several of his friends to find out if any of them have suggestions about summer employment. One friend suggested the new Omega Burger. Another friend suggested local car wash, and Jim said, "No way." He had bad experience with that car wash. Omega Burger is now your life, Jeremiah thought. What a disgusting way for a vegetarian to start out his summer vacation. But man, he needed the money fast. June was past, and Jeremiah is enjoying the burger flipping scene. It is hard to believe that this vegetarian would make such a good sandwich at Omega Burger. Life was turning around, and Jeremiah was making the well-deserved dollar he expected during his summer vacation. The management was also treating him reasonably well. Even a couple of his friends had started working for Omega Burger themselves. Much to his delight, Jeremiah even had a girlfriend who he thought was quite cute working with him on the night shift. Her name was Abby Hatcher. She was a tall, slender, silky blonde-haired girl from the valley. She attended a rival school on the other side of town. Abby also had a car, and she drove Jeremiah many nights after work. Abby was funny and quick-witted. She dressed nice and wore this beautiful garnet ring on her pinky finger. Unlike Jeremiah, though, she's a meat eater. All of July, Jeremiah, Abby, and a couple of his friends, Tony and Willie, endorsed Omega Burger and filled their summer nights by making money in hamburgers. One awkward weekend night, Willie was fired. Jeremiah felt it wasn't his place to find out what happened, and Omega Burger kept feeding the crowd night after night. However, they still liked Willie and assumed he would come in every once in a while for an Omega Castle Burger, his absolute favorite sandwich, but they never really saw them again. When not at Omega Burger, Jeremiah teams up with his buddy Kyle, the one who suggested he should join this establishment in the first place. They shimmy off to the beach every once in a while. The summer nights are long, and the two bunnies decide they will spend as much time catching waves. Every once in a while, drifting through the Omega Burger drive-thru to pick up a handful of hamburgers to take on their merry way. Kyle was also a meat eater, and he convinced Jeremiah that the beef was good, and he needs to get on board with the whole hamburger scene. Jeremiah balks, but eventually decides Kyle has a point, and starts devouring the classic Omega Burger on a regular basis. But Kyle does not need to have a job. His family helps support him and in various ways, so he can enjoy his summer, unlike Jeremiah, which he didn't start his summer very well. He is grateful that he's not in jail like Mr. Fetcher. It may not be the summer he expected, but eating hamburgers and walking on the beach is better than being boxed up in a jail cell. Jeremiah's closest friends no longer work for Omega Burger. The summer is changing quickly. He walks into Omega Burger to a handful of new recruits being groomed. Jeremiah thought, boy, they sure have been hiring a lot of new people these days. I wonder why they have such a huge turnout of people. Tonight, Jeremiah gets to break in the new crowd. The recruits were looking mega spiffy in their new shiny metallic jumpsuits. Jeremiah's boss put on the ever-popular Omega Burger training video, which was hilarious for the wrong reasons, and immediately put the workers in training. After an hour or so on the job, Jeremiah started questioning his super about the whereabouts of the new recruits. They have a minor discussion before needing to dump the fritters in the fryer, but Jeremiah notices that the training has been modified since he joined Omega Burger about a couple months ago. He questions his supervisor again what's going on. The supervisor reassures Jeremiah that things are well and the new recruits are just getting the needed training so they can be the best Omega producers this town has ever seen. Jeremiah saw this new recruit opportunity as an advantage to teach them how to build the perfect Omega Burger. He was ready to share how to use the conveyor belt used for training purposes only. It had meat tunnels to cook the meat, and ketchup, pickle, and mustard dispensers to add the exact amount for every burger. Jeremiah was excited and hoped Abby would show up to share in his excitement. While drinking a milkshake on his break, though, Jeremiah notices Tony is no longer scheduled to work, and Abby's name was absent too. While questioning his supervisor about his new discoveries, Jeremiah told Tony will not return, and Abby's ability to work over the rest of August is still in the air. Without batting an eye, Jeremiah returned to his burger flipping duty with all the recruits. Today ended well despite all the strange new changes within Omega Burger. He bags himself 3 hamburgers to go while thinking about Abby as he heads out the door. Just barely 10:30 p.m., Jeremiah takes his first bite of the delicious Omega Burger. He thinks to himself, should I go back to eating meat or should I just go back to being a vegetarian? No more than a second after that vegetarian thought had disappeared, Jeremiah looks down to see the garnet ring inside his Omega Burger. He slowly slumps in his chair and all the pieces fall together. Willie's gone, Tony's gone, Abby's gone, and now he's staring at the garnet ring? New recruits! Oh.